This is the Skil saw, the cheaper one, the new one that's like $300, $329, thereabouts. Most of it is good for the price, but this plate isn't gonna fly. This sinks here. This just moves around. It hits the adjuster. I need the adjuster to be that low so I can be level. And then you can see this part is lower than this part. So you have to adjust to the red, but now you have a ramp for anything you're cutting that happens to be riding that particular area. The same goes for here. So you have to adjust to push that down. Focus, for crying out loud, to get it to where you need it to be, but then this is ramping up. Other than that, you know, I got the writhing knife pretty damn even. The adjustment is right here. Oh, for crying out loud. And then this thing just sticks. I've just cut one piece of interior 2x4 lumber maybe 3 times, and it's already sticking. There we go. So the adjustment is here. And if you're gonna just do it by like adjusting these I guess you can call them screws, and holding this, not gonna work. You're actually gonna need to take a 2x4 or something and smash it with the fence, because anytime you tighten one of these, this just wants to go off to the well, my left, to the right if you're standing on the front of the saw. So what I did is I smashed with the fence an actual 2x4, one that had cut edges on both sides. I don't know where it went, and that got it pretty good for a cheapo. There's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to camera size this, and plus this is not the actual writhing knife, it's the blade guard thing. But yeah, this fence, or what is this, blade plate? I don't know what the hell it's called. It's no good. It's maybe metal, it's metal, but you can see bendy, 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 really quite uneven in its natural state, which causes one side to lift versus the other. And its adjustments are in the plate. So if you try to make one, you have to actually put adjustments in the plate. The reason saw companies put them here is because people put in zero clearance plates and etc. And there's only 4 now. Expected, I suppose, with the $300 saw. Probably would have been cheaper for them to put them here. But the fact that this plate is just out of the box uneven, I didn't bend it or anything like that, is causing issues. And then, since we're whining about things, as you can see, actually let me redo that so you can see the situation. So once I've made my adjustments to the screws so that it's as even as I can get it, and then you push this down, this doesn't pop back up. It doesn't lock. I could just, well, sometimes I could just rip it right out. So, you know, you could press it down, pull it out. What you have to do is like slam it. No big deal, but obviously some tolerance issue there. And then it sinks here in the middle. No adjustment to stop that. And then over here, there's basically no support. And let's see if we can find a way to show you. And it just bends. The camera work is not my forte. Hopefully you're getting the point here. I can't. I'm doing my best, guys. Bendy, 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 bendy. No adjustment here so that it'll hit the stop. You know, I mean, it's a good job site saw. It's actually portable as opposed to the DeWalt and whatnot that is, you know, the Bosch and all them that weigh an absolute metric ton and are absolutely huge. This is actually portable, and the dust collection comes with this little doodad here, this little nugget. Got a little storage spot. You put it here. You just put it in a bucket. You collect most of your dust that way. You don't have to do anything special, which is pretty cool. It's got a little storage spot for the anti kickback claws of death thing there, and then it's got. That's the actual writhing knife. I decided to store the included Allen head wrench thing there for now. They didn't give you a spot. That's where you put the blade removers. I don't know if you could actually hang a blade on that though. Would be nice. You know, have a couple of blades in storage. I mean, with all this open space. You know, if you're expected to store the blade guard device, this contraption on here, it only screws in here, so it's actually all that weight is hanging, and it kind of bends down a little bit. You know, most of you guys are not using that thing, even though you're kind of supposed to, but I'm using it because, well, sometimes I don't pay attention. So that's where that goes. And then when it folds up, even with that on there, the legs don't hit anything, and it kind of entraps everything in. So that's a pretty good design. The the fence can be adjusted, you know, in its two locations. It's locked. That's the lock thing right there. And this lock is very positive. Pull it forward to loosen. Push it down, and it's got, you know, it's got detents. It's probably plastic and break after a couple of years, but you know, feels good. And then you can move it around, the old DeWalt copy here. But you can adjust it's plastic gears running on metal, so don't expect it to last forever. I wouldn't be surprised if it lasts quite a long time though. Anyway, you could adjust the fence here. Mine out of the box was pretty even. You're never going to be able to see that. I think I got a little bit in the back. I got to push to the right or vice versa. But, you know, could be worse. Point is it's adjustable, which is nice. That's adjustable. Not that you ever use that. Unless you do. I haven't done an angle test on it yet, but pretty much, you know, close enough to 45 is good enough for me, and close enough to 0 is good enough for me. But you can adjust the stopper, and then you can go actually +2 degrees one way or the other, which is, you know, good for when you're making trim and you gotta leave room for glue or something, whatever you wanna give a reason for it too. And the reason I bought this, among others, and will be returning it because of this and trying another one, but this is stored right here. It's a kind of a little bear to get it in there, but it's put right there where it should be. Or I guess on the side of the fence is fine. I like it here because I can just go pull out my gun and then put it back in the holster, you know what I'm saying? Looks pretty good. The old adjustments right here, I got it locked down. This lock actually works. And then you have a lockable off switch. It is loud. It is loud as all sin. I don't care because I wear earmuffs whenever I'm using these power tools, because even the quiet ones are loud. But you know, here's a listen. It doesn't claim to have a brake, and it doesn't have a brake, but the blade stops fast enough. I've seen some saws with a blade, like my circular saw, some Milwaukee, it just goes forever and ever and ever. This one stops in a reasonable period of time. Overall, good job site saw. Oh, if you're buying this and you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna make a little cabinet structure for it, you know, and kind of, you know, Chuck Norris yourself a cabinet saw, or MacGyver, sorry. The stand is integrated, but you could do it because when the stand is folded, you do have some rubber footsies right there, and you just have to build your, you know, your saw stand workbench cabinet situation to accommodate, I suppose, a little extra width and, oh, little oil spill there, a little extra width and, you know, height or whatever of the legs that are folded up underneath it. But you could do it, and then you could pull it out and take it to the job or inside the house if you're brave when you're working, and it is actually portable. Like I said, it's smaller than the DeWalt's and the Bosch's and the, you know, all them. But if you're gonna build a table around it, doesn't really matter. The fence only goes out to like 25. I don't do ripping of plywood on bitty table saws like this. I will either use a circular saw and a guide, or maybe I'll get a track saw thing one day if they weren't $1 million. Or I take it over to a car audio shop I used to work at, and they got a big monstrous, entirely cast iron table. You know, one of the professional cabinet saws they make subwoofer boxes out of, and I'll just drive there first, cut it up, and then drive home. No big deal. This is the nugget. I'm gonna return this one and exchange it and hope I get one with a better plate. Because I suspect I'd have a hard time finding aftermarket plates with those little screw dads in there. And if the second one doesn't work out, then I will decide to spend more money on something else, I guess. Oh, you probably care a little bit about, is the fence movement smooth? I don't care, personally, but yes. It's kind of in between the DeWalt, which is smoother, and the Skil saw, the higher end Skil saw with the worm drive. That one's really rough because it's metal on metal, and it's just like ching, 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 ching. Sounds like something out of a cruise ship or a battleship, but this is good. Good enough for government work, you know what I'm saying? So, there you go. You know, if you want some unpaid review, well, here, I'll cut you something. It's got enough power to cut. You're not gonna need more power unless you're, you know, huffing a bunch of stuff through it all day long. That's hardwood, which, if that's the case, I'm not sure you made the correct choice of saw if you're buying this, but you know, you can make fine furniture with it if you're careful, I guess. Let me pull out the old shotgun there. We'll saw it off. Start her up. Oop, don't start it when the frickin' piece of wood's right on the blade, you dummy. Remember I said not paying attention? See, the blade stops fast enough, you know? And the included blade is a 24 banger. And that's what you get. I mean, you can kind of tell when I started. I don't remember which side was which. Well, doesn't matter. It's good enough. I mean, you know, if you're framing, that's the blade. You know, I don't know how long it'll last. I don't know if it's carbide or whatever. I don't know. You look at it, you tell me if it's carbide. I don't think so, personally. But it could be. You know, straight and whatnot. Oh, there might be a little curve to that little nugget right there on the top. You see that? Let me see if that looks like that on the other side. Could just be the... Yeah, I think that was just the view. My fence was 90 degrees out of the box. The blade, I mean 90 degrees up and down. There's a review on the YouTubes of somebody who had theirs kind of cocked over to the right. I think Projects for All. Mine was up and down proper. But, you know, on this particular one I would have to do, I think I would have to bump it this way a little bit or vice versa on the other side to get it perfecto with the blade-o. And you can adjust the blade to, I believe that adjustment is not on this side. Of course, on the opposite side that I started, and oh, yep, there it is. So you gotta, oh God, how am I gonna film this? All right, well, you gotta move this. I'm not gonna move it because I'm not being in that business right now. I'm not gonna be dealing with that and then screw it up. So you unlock this, and then you can twist this little nubbin back and forth until you get it how you want to get it. I don't know if that adjusts. I think that adjusts just, you know, if it's straight up and down or not, versus, you know, the orientation of the blade left or right in the back, or maybe it's the opposite, or maybe it's both. Read the instructions or watch somebody else's video. But it's cool that there is a easy to use adjustment there, as opposed to having to pull out, you know, a lightsaber or something to get it done. And you can line up to the blade by just adjusting this guy on both sides anyway. So, oh, there's clips on both sides, but you just leave this one clipped. And, you know, just use this one. If you, and this, they're really, all that they're really there for is to lift it up and move it to the next nubbin here. So you can extend it out. I can't think of enough. I mean, of course, to tighten it down so that it's, and by the way, this fence, I mean, does it have a little play this way? Like that way? Yes. Does it have that play when you're pushing on the bottom? You can see I have not leveled the table. It's moving all over the place. No. But if you compare this thing to the DeWalt fence, you know, at the store, this is actually way stiffer. Like here, the DeWalt fence, I could take my finger once this stops moving and push it, and it bows in the middle. And if you squeeze it, you can squeeze, bows in the middle. And I was got off camera there. And if you squeeze it, you can squeeze it with just your hands. And I don't find that acceptable for a saw that retails for as much as it does. I just think that that's ridiculous, because if you go to the Bosch saw, it's got just as stiff of a fence and the retails for the same price. Is it ever on sale? I don't know. The Bosch has got its own problems. That gravity rise stand is the most unstable pile of shit I have ever seen in my life. I pushed the thing right over in the store, just going like this. But once I actually adjust the leg, where's the leg? The adjustment leg is, there's one leg that adjusts. I think it probably would be better off if it was two. But it's stable. Okay, well, it's not stable. I gotta adjust the leg. But the one at the store's here, now let me see. I'm putting, you know, I'm 200 and some odd pounds, and I'm putting some weight on it. And it flexes and it bends a little bit here and there, but man, that Bosch saw, I did the same thing, and it just went whoosh, right over. I kind of just like sheepishly walked away. The DeWalt saw with the forelegs, nice and stable too, more stable in fact, because they kick out the back legs much farther. Well, maybe not farther, but they're, yeah, farther. So, good starter saw, good, you know, home renovation saw, not a good furniture saw, obviously. Good actually portable job site saw. I wouldn't be surprised if it lasts, to be honest with you. I don't know, the obsession with DeWalt, I get it. I got some of that. But I'm not paying $600 for their job site saw with a fence that is the exact same fence on the Cobalts and all the other cheapos. Complete junk. All right, that's my 5-minute review that turned out to be 21, almost 22 minutes. Congratulations for listening.